What's up everybody, it's Matt from TDM Style here. Welcome back to the channel once again, and today we're having a look at the latest from Barbaric Styling. We've got the Ascension Texture Clay. Oh god, I snuck up on it. So Barbaric Style are the same folks behind like the Kraken matte pomade, if you've used that, and this is their water-based matte clay edition. Now this is actually formulated and brewed up by Mr. Cody Wade Branson over at Flagship. So I mean, we all know how I feel about his stuff and his formulas. Dude is just like a magician over there and works on so many products. So before we get started in the nitty-gritty, let's just talk about the kind of specs on this and what you should expect. So in terms of performance, they're saying the hold is a medium to firm with high texture, a matte finish, and a water rinse out. And actually on the side of the jar, they do have kind of ratings out of 5 for hold, texture, shine, and washout. So we have a 4 out of 5 hold, 4 out of 5 texture, 1 out of 5 shine, and 4 out of 5, 3.5 out of 5 washout, it looks like. And what I like about these products, I like how they use like mythos in their product description. So I'll read you the little blurb here. It says, Khnum was one of the earliest known Egyptian deities and the creator of the Nile. Water of the Nile brought life to its surroundings, and it is with the clay of the Nile that he then molded all human life itself. God of water and all life, Khnum ascended to a position above all others. Like Khnum, Ascension Texture Clay is the bringer of hydration, life, and texture to all hair types, making it the god of all clay pomades. And we also have a little blurb of benefits here. Easy scoop, breakdown, application, and styleability are just a few of the major factors that separate this clay from others out there. Its strength and hydrating factors allow you to get that high texture look while keeping it locked in place, all while repairing and nourishing ingredients are hard at work. So, ow, titty. With all that in mind, let's crack into a bitch and get started, as usual, with packaging and pricing first. So this bad boy will come in your kind of homebrew standard style, 4 ounce or 113 gram clear glass jar. We've got a black aluminum lid on there, and look at this label design. I really enjoy the artwork on there. Some of the gold text is slightly hard to read, but I don't know, I just think it looks really fucking cool. And in terms of price, this will come in at $19 US. Oh my god. Mulled wine is so good. It's my favorite winter adult beverage. And now it's time for everybody's favorite category, at least my favorite category. We gotta talk about that scent. So the scent is called Ascension, and it's listed as an Egyptian oasis musk, but there's no further elaboration on that. So, we got nose in. Oh my Egyptian gods. Oh, it smells so fucking good. It definitely fucks me up. It reminds me of that kind of incensey smell that you might, if you've ever, like, if you live in America and you've ever been to a shopping mall and you walk into like, what the fuck is the name of that store? Blue Moon, you know the one where they sell like crystals and incense and all that kind of stuff? It kind of smells like that. So yeah, it's musky, it's earthy, but it's a little bit sweet and it's kind of incensey, and I just really like it. It's great. With all that being said though, it's not super strong, so once you get it into the hair, I don't really smell it much anymore, but while you're working with it, it is just a joy. All right, now let's take a look through the actual ingredients. So it is a water-based clay, so as you should rightfully expect, water in the first spot. And then our second ingredient is our best boy, Mr. Kaolin Clay. Then we've got some PEG 40 hydrogenated castor oil for that smoothness. We've got some safflower oil, castor wax, Cetera 20, rice bran wax, bentonite clay in there as well, microcrystalline wax, and then our preservatives, fragrance. Ooh, and at the end, we have some Dead Sea salt. Neat. So yeah, texture on texture on texture. Kaolin, bentonite, Dead Sea salt, and then we do have some of those oils in there. We've got plenty of waxes going on for the hold. We've got the PEG 40 in there for kind of like smoothness and scoopability of the formula, if you will. Safflower oil and stuff to kind of impart some moisture to the hair and to balance the dryness of those clays. So taking a look inside the jar at the formulation itself for the scoop and the breakdown, you can see the scoop looks a bit waxy, so it feels slightly firm, but it is an easy scoop. And the breakdown is so easy. Get that into the fingertips for like 5 seconds and it just becomes this creamy, smooth, very just easy to... Don't overwork it, though. Don't... Like, just don't do that, because then it's going to get dry and you're going to have a bad time. So with that in mind, this is a good time to jump into the demo footage. So as usual, we are starting out here with freshly washed and blow-dried hair that has been pre-styled with a bit of 25 spray and some Viper smoothing oil from Xmondo. It does say in the directions, by the way, it works best in dry or blow-dried hair. So yeah, I mean, if you like damp styling, that's your thing, that's cool. But I don't know how this would work for damp hair folks. Anyway, for me, we're going in with a dime-sized amount here. Definitely recommend you start small, because for me and my hair type, it definitely feels dry at first, which is expected. I mean, you got 2 clays, you got a sea salt in there, and it's high texture, it's matte finish, so like it's gonna be dry. But what I like here, which is unusual, is that the more you work with it, the better it feels and the less dry it becomes, which is totally the opposite. You know, normally if I have like a very dry matte paste or a dry clay, if it's dry as soon as I start putting it in the hair, it's not gonna get any better as I keep styling it. It's just gonna stay dry, and the more I work with it, I'm just gonna be miserable. It's the opposite here. It starts out dry and a little tacky, and I was like, oh geez, here we go. But after a few seconds, and the more I work with it, it just gets smoother and easier, and it just works. It's very... It's unusual. I didn't expect that to happen. But as I mentioned, you know, start small. You don't need a lot of this stuff, and if you go in with like a massive scoop, then it might get a little too dry, because I did that the first time. I used a bit too much, and it was definitely a bit drier. But going in with this method, dime-sized amount was almost perfect, but as you can see here, it still has a lot of movement. It definitely feels like a medium. And I just added like another pea-sized amount, like a half a fingertip scoop, and that really dialed up the hold to definitely more of a medium firm. And as you can see, super, super textured look going on here. The volume looks good. It is very matte, so at first I noticed, you know, I have a dry hair type, so I did notice a few flyaways here or there, but as the product sits, it does feel better and better throughout the day. It's one of those that has like the, you know, the oils and stuff in there, so the longer it's in your hair, the better it feels. And so here we are, like right now, endurance test. This is the end of the day or several hours later. My hair feels very lightweight, kind of more along the lines of a matte paste than like a heavy clay. The texture, as you can see, is still there, and we're still matte, but it feels softer and not dry at all. It feels great. And it stayed up well, and it still has a little movement to it. So definitely medium to medium firm, which is right around the sweet spot for me. And in terms of the washout, it says water rinse. It's a water rinse. It washes off the hands after styling so easy, literally just water and it just comes right off. And same with the hair. You know, you hit it with some water and basically it's gone. So yeah, overall thoughts on the Ascension Texture Clay from Barbaric Styling. I really enjoy this. I like it a lot. The musky scent, boy, is so good. The texture is great, you know, and so it's a little bit drier than, say, certain other clays that I might use a lot, like an oil-based clay or something, but that's to be expected. And it works well. The nourishing ingredients do come through, and it feels good in the hair, especially the longer that the day wears on. It's got good performance, and I mean, it's a homebrew, so the $19 price tag is great. So that wraps things up for this video, y'all. I hope that you enjoyed this and found it helpful. Please do stay tuned. Got plenty more in the works. If you haven't already, feel free to hit that subscribe button down below to keep up to date with everything. And as always, thank you so much for coming by and watching. And we'll see y'all at the next one.